Join us for an episode of My Truth Today, where individual purpose is revealed to us through our own truths. Let's all be in a safe place, tell the truth, and help each other unlearn and evolve. Now, welcome our host, Nicole Stinson, and co-host, Christie Locke.
Hey, Christie.
Hi, Nicole.
It's been a while. How are you?
It's been a little bit. I'm well.
I
was going to say amazing, and then I was like, that's a lie. So I'm just going to say I'm well.
Because we're here for truth. We don't lie.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, we can't start out lying.
No, we can't start lying. No, it's been a shit show today.
Yeah.
But we're here.
We're here, and we're happy. And
we're happy.
It's going to be an exciting episode today, so we got to have the talk.
Yes, we do. And we have a guest today.
We sure do have a guest today. I am so excited to announce that we are here with Miss Eva, who is the founder of Women's Lib. And Eva, tell us a little bit about what Women's Lib is.
So Women's Lib itself is a liquid libido supplement. And what's cool about it is that it works. It's encapsulated, which means, have you ever taken liposomal encapsulated vitamin C when you have a cold coming on? Have you heard of it? It like comes in little jelly packs. Have you seen these? So you probably know that when you get a little tickle, you think I should take some vitamin C, I should take some zinc or something like that. If that's something that you are inclined to do, you can take it, but then you pee out all orange and yellow.
Yep.
But if you take a liposomal encapsulation, it stays in your system.
Oh, okay.
You have like a higher absorption rate. That's what we did. So we have patents on the product to ensure that the encapsulation is intact. It means the molecules are very small and they're wrapped in oil so that they absorb into your body. And anyway, product, amazing, works. But what I'm so excited to be here and talk to both of you about is why women want Women's Lib. Because that, to me, is the most fascinating part of entering the space of entrepreneurship through a supplement, an ingestible supplement, because it's not the only way. Libido is multifactorial, right? Like it could be you have stress at your job, you have stress you're the sandwich, you're taking care of aging parents, you're taking care of growing children. Maybe you have relationship challenges. It could be anything, right?
Are you talking about me?
It could be anything. We're not alone, right? Like it's so many of us. And so it's natural for your libido to shift both as you age, but also just naturally as you go through the stresses of life. So that, to me, opening up the conversation without shame and without expectation of Women's Lib is not here to tell anyone have more sex, have better sex, find your kink, none of that. I do think it's interesting and it makes me curious to explore what sex means to me now. And I think for me, the aging process as I'm entering into it is, it's exciting because it's more reflection, it's a deeper reflection and asking me, who do I want to be now? Who am I now? In a way where I had other things that I was more concerned about growing up, find a boyfriend or, find love. Have a job that I enjoy, have money to travel or do, whatever I wanted to do. And now I feel like my priorities are requiring me to say what feels good to me now. And it's different. I learned I do have a kink. I'm a pillow princess. I don't know if you know what that is.
No.
Oh my gosh, I made it up.
I know what it is.
I didn't make it up. Oh, I totally took credit for that. I totally took credit for that.
I've heard it. I mean, unless it came from you through the grapevine.
That would be amazing. Yeah. I give it to all women.
Tell us what a pillow princess is.
Okay, my understanding of what a pillow princess is I lay there.
Yeah.
I just simply lay there.
And take it.
And I accept.
Nicole's like, wait, we could do that?
Yeah. So, here's what was interesting. So I had been doing that, with my husband of 13 years, and I was getting some complaints about my lack of involvement. And it wasn't because I didn't want to. I was just trying to figure out how to be involved in a way that was comfortable for me. And so I told my therapist what I like to do. I just want to lay there. And I said, I think I'm a pillow princess. I think that's my thing. And she said, well, you should tell him that. And so again, you can take supplements all day long, but if you don't have a communication, open line of communication, then you really are just, helping yourself, which is also totally fine. But when you want to have that partnership and that connection, so I told my husband, honey, I discovered today in therapy, actually, I have a kink. And he was like, oh,
he got all excited.
Tell me more about it. I'm like, well, check it out. I know it's crazy, but I need to lay there actually. And he was like, oh, I am here for that.
Yeah.
And he got so into it. And now like it's the best of all worlds, right? He's into it and I'm able to be into it.
And comfortable and not thinking.
100%. There is some psychology behind it, like I don't get a lot of attention throughout the day. I'm the one giving attention throughout the day. So there is something about acceptance and receiving that was a challenge. And now I'm over that hump and realizing, oh, the benefit of this is incredible. I do think, okay, I have been taking women's lib for a couple of years now. There is something to be said for jump starting your physical systems so that when I say things to my husband like, hey, I discovered this new kink that I just think I made up, but maybe I didn't. I discovered something women have been doing for thousands of years.
Yeah, exactly.
That when he gets excited, it's like, orgasms beget more orgasms.
Right.
And it reminded me, oh, I like this actually. Mm-hmm. And now I felt that way about the gym. Oh God, I'm allergic to the gym. But now I enjoy working out because the feeling I have after lifting heavy weights makes me feel really good and strong. And so now I'm more compelled to go to the gym and do what's good for me. So that's
there's
right.
Something also to be said for like being able to talk about it. Yeah. Like being able to talk about like things that you like or don't like.
Right.
I think a lot of people, I'll speak for myself, you just kind of go through the motion and you just do it and you just think, I'm weird if I want to say something or communicate that doesn't work or it does work or that's the way I like it or I don't really want to do that because I don't really like it. I think a lot of people don't talk about it. And so I think that's kind of cool that you came, right?
Well, I think what you had said behind the scenes was that, before we started filming today was that it's been kind of a taboo topic, for lack of a better explanation. So yes, so many people just don't even know how to bring up the conversation with their partner, let alone with their girlfriends. Now, mind you, we might have, a girls' night and drinks are flowing and then the convo starts going and then we eventually get there and then who knows what kind of stuff comes, starts being
and then you wake up and you go, darn, why did I have that second glass of wine?
Oh my gosh, now everyone knows my secrets. But outside of, just the girls' nights with wine flowing, I don't know anyone that is in my circle of friends or acquaintances whenever this does get brought up. Anyone who's like super comfortable telling their partner or telling their friends their full experience or their hesitations or their seemingly embarrassing, things that they don't want to talk about. It's such like still a taboo topic. And I don't know why we've been conditioned that way to not talk about sex when everyone does it.
Right. I mean, there's statistics out there about the number of women who there's billions of women in the world. And then you can think about 70% of them suffer from a low libido at some point. And 85% of that 70 wish they could talk about it. But they don't feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. And even deeper than that, you have a healthcare system that doesn't really pay attention to the complaints of a woman. And then, it's what does that lead to? What are the effects of that? You're irritable with your family and friends. You could lead to depression, divorce. It's really, it can have these spiraling out impacts. So all of that is to say, I hope women start to talk about it. And I hope that they don't feel shy in those moments where they're just in the safe space of girlfriends to say like, is anybody else feeling like this? Because I guarantee around the table, it will be, yes, girl.
Right.
I've been there or I'm right there with you. And here's what I've tried and here's what I've done. You start to share resources. Like women are the best.
Women are the best.
Yes.
And I think we said something earlier too about the fact that this isn't an age thing only. And so I want to focus a little bit more on that too, because Nicole and I are at different ages, right? But we have different experiences, but also a lot of the same experiences that we can relate on. And then you had brought up earlier something about like your 20s feeling this way.
In my 20s, I literally, and I remember saying it out loud many times, I'd rather load the dishwasher than have sex. Yeah. And it had nothing to do with my partner. I was like, wait a minute, I'm only 22, 23. Why am I feeling this way? This is so weird.
Yeah. Did you talk to your friends about it?
I don't remember. That was a long damn time ago.
That's a great question.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And if I did, it was more like in a joking manner. It was like, you try to talk about it, but you're, the way you're laughing through it.
Dipping your toe in to see
but
what the
inside
reaction
you're like,
might
this
be.
can't be normal. Like, and then I remember when I got a hysterectomy, oh my God, like after I was healed from that, I felt like I turned 15 again. Okay, that's too young. Okay, 20. Wink,
so
wink.
let's talk about losing your virginity.
Wink, wink. We don't have to talk about that. Okay, 15. We're telling the truth here. But anyway, it was like I something woke up after the, that was the best thing I ever did. I don't know what happened, but something turned on.
Yeah.
And then of course it turned off again later. But anyway.
Well, I think that you just said something there, right? Like you're turned off again later. So it goes in cycles. It goes in flows. Yes. There's ups and downs. And if there's something that can help us not just be more consistent for, our partner, but just for ourselves to have 100%. That peace of mind. You don't always have to act on it and be like a rabbit unless you want to, then go for it.
Right.
But, I just think some consistency and will lead to not having to question yourself so much, right? Like what's wrong with me? Or the cycles that you go through with your partner, where it's like, I don't want anyone to touch me. I don't want you to talk to me. I don't want you to look at me. I'm not into it at all. And I think so many people go through that, but you get bogged down in that. And you have to train your mind to be like, okay, the next, couple weeks. Or
what's wrong with me? Or,
the next couple of weeks, it'll be better. And sure enough, next month, it is actually better. And yet there's no answer as to, at least that we know of, that
what's
I know
normal?
of yet, as to what's normal. And are these thoughts okay to be up and down and, pulled in different directions? But like you said, there's so much going on and so many different factors that women deal with on a day-to-day. You said that you're always the one caring for others. And so, but you intentionally put in the work to figure out, okay, I'm always giving to others. When's my time to be a pillow princess? And you got to that answer.
Yes.
So I think it comes with deep exploration and like intentionality of like knowing yourself and your sexuality.
Which, it's hard because I really hate to ask women to do another thing. You know what I mean?
Do
it's
the
like
homework.
Be your own advocate in the healthcare system. Lift up your kids, lift up your family, be the person at the job. It's like, oh, now I got to pay attention to my sexuality. Now I got to do this whole other thing. I'm trying to get in shape. I'm trying to just drink water.
Right.
It's like, why do I have to do everything? And that's like so much pressure on women. And I just want to give that hug. It is okay. You are normal. All the flow, the ups and downs, that is normal. And no one's asking you to do anything else than what you're doing today. But if you could just remember how good it feels to have an orgasm and embed that inside of you so that exactly as you said, the next time it's available, you're like, I will enjoy this.
Right.
And then the science shows the more orgasms you have, the longer and healthier you live.
I was going to say, because it's all a part.
I'm in trouble.
well, we're going to help you today.
You need to have this.
So how many drops do I have to put in my mouth of this? And what happens
2
when I do?
droppers worth. So when you squeeze, it's just 2 droppers worth. But now, listen, every body is different. So the dose that's been researched, right, is 1.6.
Okay.
That's 2 droppers worth.
And what happens when I do that?
In 2 days, you'll feel a gentle buzzing and humming.
Where?
In the place.
Down here?
Down in there.
Okay.
Down in the happy place.
We got to start saying vagina.
We have
to start being more comfortable.
We really do. You know what's so funny is I went to a conference. It's called the International Women's Sexual International Women's Sexual Health and Wellness Conference.
Yes.
And it was so inspiring because it was filled with doctors who wanted to learn more about how to give a trauma-informed evaluation, about the cycles of women's sexuality, about all the hormones and the thing. It was all, and so it was predominantly doctors that were there, a few physician's assistants, and then a few pelvic floor specialists, and then like a dabbling of sex therapists. And they were talking about the vestibule. Do you know what the vestibule is?
No.
I've heard of it, but remind us.
So because you all do other things besides this podcast, you know what a vestibule is in architecture.
Yes.
It's the same. It's a woman's entrance.
Okay, got it.
So it is the entire establishment, right? It's the entire, and so they kept saying the vestibule. I'm like, Google, what is
That'd be so neat.
I was thinking it was
literally,
like that.
I am 47 years old. I have pushed 3 children out of my body. Not one time has any doctor or anyone ever been like, let's talk about your vestibule.
100%.
Never.
Yeah.
So I think the terminology is important. You know,
Right.
It's good to know what parts of your body are what and to be able to talk about it freely. But yes, this will make your vagina hum and buzz.
Love it. That's
To
what I
get, to
needed
get us
to
full
hear.
circle.
Yeah.
That's what this will do.
Wow.
After a couple of days, it's the encapsulation that makes it work really fast, and then to get that feeling right in that area, because I have women who take it post hysterectomy, post menopause, who say that it helps with their brain fog, but that's because there's a vasodilator in it, which means you're getting blood to all of your blood vessels, not just in that region.
What happens if a man takes it?
Not much.
Okay.
No, not
Not
much.
that they need much, but
So I have
mean,
two
some do.
questions.
Yeah.
I have 2 questions. Number 1, what does it taste like?
Lemongrass.
Okay,
Yeah, like
tastes like
gentle
lemongrass.
lemongrass. My next band name.
Okay, love it. I guess I have 3 questions then. Follow up to what does it taste like? Do you only want us to take it straight, or can I mix it into like a tea?
Yeah, you
at
can
night?
absolutely mix it
Okay.
into a tea or a cocktail. I recommend taking it in the morning because it is energizing. So there are other libido supplements out there, which you're welcome to try. One in particular, because I did all this exploration on my own before realizing there was nothing for me, and then creating this. But one made me really sleepy. And their angle was like relax. You know, women need to relax. So if you're someone who wants to relax or needs to relax in order to have that entryway, this is not the supplement for you. This gives you energy, because that was my problem. I'm tired. I don't care enough. And it was hurting my relationship. So I needed energy and the desire. And that's
And
where
it's every
this
day,
comes in.
right?
It's every day.
okay.
Yeah. Tongkat Ali is the ingredient that does the energy. It's and so if it was a men's product, we would flip the amounts to make Tongkat Ali be the more predominant amount. Yeah.
What was the research that went into this? And tell us about your backstory. You just kind of alluded to it.
Yeah.
And you did some self-exploration, which we don't have to get too detailed into, but if you don't want to.
Listen,
But the research behind it.
I did not know I was suffering from a low libido because I'm one of these women who's very sort of like in my life, one foot in front of the other, you know, didn't really. And also I come from a walk it off kind of background, my mentality. It's how I hope I'm raising my kids. So, you know, trauma parenting. But I didn't realize. And so it was my husband who brought it to my attention. He would say things like, are we ever going to have sex again? And I'm very attracted to him and I love him deeply. So it was not him. It was really me being unwilling. And part of the unwillingness was like pain, dryness, and simply like tired, no desire. And it sounds like what you were experiencing in your 20s.
Once you start doing it too, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't like, it's just getting, like, that's why I said,
Yeah.
just getting over that hump. And then you're like, okay, this is great.
Yeah, I don't know. I was still having problems even during, which was making him feel insecure because he's like, we've been together all these years. Like, what has happened here? And I'm like, oh, it's the kids. You know, it's like, what excuse can I come up with today?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's such a hard place to be in a
my gosh.
relationship. It weighs on both of you, I think. And you just don't know how to kind of move past that because there does come a time, especially if you've been together for so long, that you kind of start to feel like roommates. If both people, especially when there's kids involved and your attention is divided so many other places, you become the very last on your priority list and your partner maybe is the same level as you as far as your priority list or just slightly above.
Yeah.
You always put yourself last and it's almost like a turn off from even your partner because it's like, one more task I have to do today, one more checkbox to make someone else happy. And I get that story from a lot of my friends, even, my age. And it could be right after, they've had their first couple of kids, right? And that's just a whole change in itself, right? One of the reasons I don't have kids.
Or puppies.
Yeah.
Or puppies.
Or puppies yet, right?
Yeah.
Because a small part of it is like I do feel pulled in all kinds of different directions all the way. I can't even imagine what my friends, all of them have kids, are going through and what you went through. It's like, how do you do that? Divide your attention even more so. And then what happens to your relationship in that? And then what happens within yourself? Like you're exhausted. So a lot of my friends lately have been saying things like, we just don't have sex since the last baby was born, And then I hear, through the grapevine from some of the men and same sentiments as your husband. It's like, she's always mad. She's always, she's always ignoring me. I don't get any attention at home. Yeah. And that can all spiral into so many different issues if it's not addressed.
Yeah.
I'm also hearing, though, like men, I don't know about young, but like I would say in their 50s or over are having their own issues.
Yeah.
Like with hormones. Like I'm hearing a lot of men having to go on testosterone, having to go on different things because they're struggling. They're struggling also of what like a man should do or be, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't think it's just a women problem, but it may be more women.
Well, I think it's the perfect storm and feeds off of each other, right?
Yeah.
Because a man is going to be driven by being wanted, and if that, like your husband had said, like it starts to weigh on his self-confidence too. And then it's just the perfect storm. And then nobody wants to do anything or have anything to do with each other, right?
Right. And we didn't want to get divorced.
Right.
And that's where you see, I have friends now who are getting divorced and it's like, oh, we were there. We were having those really tough conversations, but we were able to communicate through it, where so many couples, just as you said, they just are like
drift,
boom, ba boom, ba boom, and then it's there's no more to repair, and it's just resentment.
Exactly.
It's so hard. Well, relationships are hard. That's a whole other
that's a whole other realm.
Yeah, a whole other
definitely
realm.
need wine for those conversations.
We'll do that one later.
Water today.
we need more in our cup for that.
More in our cup.
Tell me more about the research behind it.
Right. So when I realized that this was a low libido wasn't necessarily Eva's broken, or because I went through all of that too, I was like, oh man, I can't satisfy my husband. This is not who I am as a person. So what do I do? And I tried many supplements. I did therapy, of course, because I think talking about things and getting to the root issue is always healthy. It did help me because it gave me words I could use to say to my husband, like, instead of like, no, I would never want to, like, I can't imagine a moment when I would want to have sex with you. Like I would say things like that and he'd have to just weather that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't how I felt. What I meant to say was, I just don't want to tonight, but maybe I will tomorrow. But I really had to be coached to say those words because I was so just like you're saying, like, I can't have anything else on me. I can't have anyone else need anything from me. I can't do anything else right now.
That totally makes sense, the way you explained it. Yeah.
So I tried everything. And it just wasn't kicking it into gear. I felt like the physical nature, I'm a dancer, I'm a yogi. I like to be physical and in my body. And many of the times where I have had some kind of like emotional turbulence, I'll dance, I'll work out, and sort of sweat through it. And with sex, there isn't really an outlet for that. So I was just suffering. And my friend Justin was one of the founders of Health Aid Kombucha. I don't know if you know what Health Aid Kombucha is. It's one of the most sort of popular kombuchas that is out there. They've been my friends for 20 years. I watched them grow their business from their kitchen all the way, now
so cool.
into
That's awesome.
They're everywhere. And they were successful. They sold their business. This is now probably 5-6 years ago. They got themselves a pool, as you do when you get that kind of success. And we were around their pool, and I was saying, because we're such close friends and we're couple friends, like he and his wife married me and my husband in their apartment. So we can have these kind of conversations. So I'm grateful. And that's why I say, did you talk to your friends? Like, friends are so important as you're going through all these like changes and, discoveries. And he said, well, I was thinking about doing a men's product, actually. And I'm like, they have everything. They have the research. They have the concern and care. They have the attention. They can talk about it. Yes, there's shame and there's other sociological things that happen that make a man sort of like not share.
Help seek. Yeah.
And which is weird, right? Because he's talking to me like I'm his friend's wife, and I'm friends with his wife. But for some reason, like, because he's a dude and I'm not a dude, he could talk to me about it because I'm not going to judge. What do I care?
Right.
So there was this freedom. And I said, you need to help me make a woman's product. And because he had been exploring men's testosterone, knew an encapsulation company, had done a lot of the research. So I was able to kind of hit the ground running where that was concerned. And then he was able to fund it, which is obviously also a huge deal. So we got to bootstrap. And we hired doctors, scientists, chemists to put the formulation together. That was a whole journey. I don't know if you
bet.
know much about supplements, but there's a lot of stuff out there that doesn't have research behind it or isn't third-party tested, or this has research, is third-party tested. You know, you really want to be careful about
what you're putting
into your body.
And what does this cost? And how long does it last?
It lasts a month.
Okay, so it's a month.
If you take it every day, which you should. And it lasts a month, and then you can do a subscription. But I always tell people, start with a month, see how it goes. Because again, if you're someone who's sensitive to supplement, you might want to take 1 dropper, and this will last you a bit longer. If you are someone who needs a little bit extra, you take 3 droppers. So you have to kind of play with it, see how it goes. Yeah.
Speaking of playing with it, tell us about your. I know we really do need wine. Tell us about the results and what stories have your friends and people that have tried your product? What client testimonials are you getting?
Okay, my favorite, I don't even remember the name, but my favorite one, I should have it on a t-shirt. It said, she said, it's flooding my basement.
Dead. I'm screaming inside.
Okay,
that is hilarious.
I know we had a conversation in the street in the middle of networking.
One way to say it. Yes, we did.
We did, and there was probably, I don't know, 20 people out there, including men, about, I don't even know how it came up. I don't remember how it came up. We were talking about toys.
Yeah.
And the conversation was coming up, and I admitted on the street in front of everybody that, I'm just not that person.
You're not a toy person.
I don't have them. I've never owned one. I don't think it's weird that people do, but people that do think they don't believe me. They're like, no, that can't be true. I've never met anybody that doesn't. I'm like, I just don't. I don't.
Well, once I became a pillow princess and really leaned into that, honestly, I was open to whatever happened after that. And so because he got so excited, suddenly there was this plethora of various things.
Right.
But with him.
With him, yeah, of course.
But no,
I mean on my own.
I'm talking like that. That doesn't come into my mind at all. And so I feel like I'm a little abnormal.
No.
Or I'm made to feel like I'm a little bit abnormal because I'm not. I don't.
Think about that.
No, nor do I even when I'm not doing something for a long time. It's not like I go, let me go buy something. It doesn't even come into my mind.
You don't have to.
There's no button that says that. Will this
anything.
make that happen?
This will help facilitate.
Will this say go to the store?
No, this will help facilitate a self-pleasure experience. But that can look like anything. You don't have to buy something to self-pleasure. You can just use what you have at home. So
I prefer a man, but
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't.
You could do that too.
You could do that too.
We're not saying you don't have to go fight a man.
Totally.
We can help with that.
This just helps the environment, the physical environment. So again, the doctors who I've worked with, they say, Eva, 100% of my clients who come to me are coming to me. This is sort of specific to perimenopause, but
dryness.
They come to me for libido and weight loss.
Mm.
Oh,
interesting.
And they say there's not much I can say or do about those things. You've got to lift heavy weights, and you've got to have orgasms.
And orgasms.
And so that's where toys sort of enter the conversations.
I think toys enter the conversation because people don't know themselves. And so even when you have a partner in the bedroom, sometimes you don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
Right? And let's be honest, it's in my experience, easier for a man to reach that point of orgasm than it is for a woman. And I think that's scientifically backed. So that's just not my opinion here. True. I'm not talking shit. This is a real thing, right?
100%.
That, women have this psychological factor, but they also biologically have different systems that it takes, time to really get there, right? To really let go and get there. So I think toys enter the conversation only as almost
discovery?
A tool, of self-discovery, so that you can, when you have a partner, or if you decide never to have a partner again, you have a way of knowing how your body works and how to get there, if that's the goal, right? Yeah. I know you don't think about it a lot, but like you were saying at the beginning, try to remember how good that moment feels, and then let's try to replicate that as much and as often as we can.
Because it will extend your life. And for me, it's about longevity and mobility. I want to be able to walk.
I never knew that would extend your life. That brings it into a whole different
Well, I mean, there are women. There's a percentage that I could probably look up, that all of us could look up, about UTIs being one of the downfalls of women in aging.
Right.
And a way you can avoid that is through orgasm, because orgasms build the labral walls. They can sustain and like develop the muscles in the area. And again, all that lubrication is part of the natural systems of like keeping things functioning. You have the 3 brains, right? You have your brain, you've gut brain, and you have your reproductive brain. Even if you're not using it for reproducing, it's important to maintain its health, you know? So, I think when I go to the gym, yes, I feel the benefit of like the endorphin hit after I'm working out, but I'm also thinking this is going to help me put my overhead, luggage up when I'm in my 80s.
Right. It's a long-term plan. You're playing the long-term game. Yes, you get that instant hit of dopamine, but it's really about the long-term benefits of it.
That helps me. It helps me like get more. I'm doing this for everyone.
The long game. Yeah.
I love
And
it.
I mean, that brings up such a good point, because you were saying, that you were at a wellness retreat with a bunch of doctors, right? Yeah. And it really should be part of everyone's wellness plan for themselves, right? Right alongside with going to the gym or eating healthier or, going for a daily walk and getting the blood flowing, right? You should get the blood flowing everywhere.
Absolutely.
And it should be part of your full wellness plan for that longevity. Like it shouldn't be put on the back burner or overlooked entirely, right? Because there's a full health picture. Yeah. And I think that this is part of it.
I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah.
I love it.
All right, Nicole, have we convinced you?
Yeah.
Self-exploration. I think that, I wonder if there are other hurdles for women to get to that place. It's like, I remind my friends, like, you do deserve pleasure. That was for me a huge hurdle. I do deserve to be, I felt so selfish being a pillow princess. It was hard, that's why I was like, I'm just laying here
I'm not a pillow princess.
No.
Are you? Because I'm a control freak. My control also goes there.
Right. How so? Like time of day and okay. Because that's a thing.
Yeah,
and
totally.
A lot of people, I think, get into patterns. Yeah, which can be a good thing.
Sure.
And it can be something that takes away from the excitement of it, too. You don't always have to have sex after you watch TV in bed. And actually,
or in the morning or at certain times. Yeah.
I think they say that that's actually the worst time to have sex is when you're tired from the whole day, right? You've been pulled in all these different directions and you're laying in bed and you're freaking exhausted. And the last thing you want is one more person touching you, right?
What's the best time? Is it morning?
I think it depends on the person.
Right.
It's like
kids,
whatever is your, for me, it's that weekend morning. Love it. My kids they're getting to an age where they're kind of sleeping in, but they definitely like just go straight to the TV. Totally fine with that.
Do you
and
shut
we
the
get
door?
to have, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Shut the door, have our private time.
Yeah.
And
I was always worried to shut the door when we had the kids.
Oh, really?
I just didn't, I wanted them to be able to get to us.
Yeah.
And I felt like I shouldn't be doing that if they're in the house.
Oh, wow. No, we definitely do it while they're in the house because we don't want them to leave the house and we also want to do it.
Yeah.
So there's not really a lot of...
No,
but we also have it's nice to, I have family close. So my mom will come, we'll watch them, and we have rented a hotel room and, just gone and not even spent the night there because we want to wake up with our kids.
Yeah.
So, but I love a morning. You got to do what you got to do.
Yep.
If it's your priority. And to bring it back to the conversation, I do have an open line of communication, thankfully, right? So I can say, first of all, he can come to me and say, this isn't feeling very good, how we're moving forward. What can we change? And by that, I mean, what can you, Eva, change? And I was like, wait a minute, am I the problem? It was like, uh-oh, I don't like that. What about you? You might be the problem. You're using multiple cutting boards for one job. That's feels, what is happening here? Are we working on all brain cells?
Yeah.
How can I flip this? Because I don't like it being my fault. I had to go through that whole journey and then to realize I can be part of the solution. I can, it's not like I'm not initiating anymore, but I'm at least I'm into it now, which feels so much better.
Yeah. And I think it does get to a slippery slope where you never want the spotlight to be on one person as a, blame game, right? Because it does take two. And I think that even if you're the problem, as in you're the one who's, too tired and not engaged, I think there is a huge responsibility on the part of your partner to do what he does and ask about it and make a safe space for your partner to be able to communicate those things and to feel vulnerable and to not have that conversation feel like an attack, right? Like, I know you don't believe in therapy, but I do. And what you were saying earlier is that there's always a tool that you can learn. It's not going to hurt anyone.
No, that's true.
By going to therapy. You're not going to get hurt. Well,
your wallet
I shouldn't say
might.
that. I shouldn't say
your
that.
wallet
There could be some hurtful things. Yeah. But
no, but you're right. You can always improve no matter how.
Even if you're
you
good.
don't even know. Like, it could be good and you can be satisfied and everything is good. But until you know, you don't know, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And so until you start meeting other people and talking to people or exploring and knowing what options are. And I think that's where it comes in about talking about it.
Right. You don't know that something's a problem if you're not acknowledging it, right? You could be thinking all of this is normal and you not having sex ever in 2 years after the last baby was born is just what people go through. And that's not always the case.
Right.
And so it's like both parties can be moving through life just thinking this is how it is now. And that's you got to acknowledge the problem, but that involves a deep dive. And then hopefully you have picked a partner that will not completely shy away from those kind of conversations. It can absolutely be uncomfortable at first. And I think that's most people's experiences is that it is hard to be completely walls down with anyone, right? Especially because you're walking on eggshells a bit and that you don't want to hurt anyone. And you also don't want to be the problem, right? So I think a lot of people go through that in that, you have to be able to work intentionally to creating a safe space for your partner at all times, right? And I don't know that a lot of people do have that.
Yeah. And there's people who don't even have a partner who just like don't feel like themselves. They want to feel sexy. They want to feel confident and it's just not happening for them. And maybe they want to, maybe they haven't self-pleasured in years, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, how do you re-enter that zone of like being comfortable with your body, exploring yourself, like giving yourself that time where you're not on Netflix in your bed, but instead like just deep breathing and touching your skin and just seeing what that feels like. I think that it's not partner required to remember that you deserve pleasure, that orgasms feel good and help
and they're good for you.
Live a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know today you're offering for the My Truth watchers and subscribers, you're offering a special on your product.
Yeah, 15% off, just put My Truth code at checkout and you'll get a discount.
And then we're really lucky to have her coming to our event.
Yes, our My Truth Women's Day experience event.
I'm really excited.
Where we're going to talk truth about sex and HRT and
just hormones or the replacement therapy, but also just hormones in general. And like you said, and women in different phases of their life, just wondering, am I normal? How can I be better? How can I get back in touch with myself after perimenopause or kids or menopause or just anywhere in between?
Again, like when I was in my 20s, didn't have kids.
Right.
All that stuff. So I think that I don't think there's an age bracket on it. I think that there could be young women going through all of what we're talking about right now.
A low libido is a side effect of many antidepressants, actually. So it's something that people suffer from when they take an antidepressant, which is pretty common.
Very common, actually. I think I just heard that stat the other day. Don't quote me. But something like 1 in 4 Americans are on some form of
antidepressant?
Yeah.
Or anxiety medication.
And off the top of my head, just going through my list of friends, I think that's a kind of an accurate stat.
You're like, wait, one of
every 1 in 4. I mean, I don't know that that's the exact stat, but the prevalence of being on antidepressant medication is so real. Yeah. And so it's something that, not a lot of people talk about that either, right? Again, you just go into the doctor, you get a prescription and call it a day. They don't spend more than 10 minutes with you, right? You're not going to go through your whole sexual history and have a therapy session in your doctor's office. You're just going to get that little pill and go on your way, right? That's
I think people are hoping it will fix the problem.
Right.
And there's that too, where it's like this in particular is a supplement. This does not fix the problem. The problem is deeper. The problem is, are you able to have an open line of communication? How do you feel in your body? Are you getting enough? It's all of the things that like make a woman healthy that need to happen.
So if you could tell a woman, some kind of 1 through 5 step, right? Just meeting her and she tells you she has low libido, knowing that there's all these other factors that are going on and knowing the benefits of your product, what would you tell that person?
I would tell them to start with this.
Okay.
For me, Oh, well, and I would ask a lot of questions. But for me, because I do things physically first, it's like I'm tricking my brain through my body. But some people are the opposite, right? Some people need to get their brain right before the body follows. So that would be my first wondering. But then I would say, take this to jumpstart the physicality. And then I would say lean into what you're already into. If you're into being in control, lean into that. Like, don't be shy about that. You know, whoever you're with or being in yourself, if that's who you are authentically, if that's your truth, leaning into that is super sexy and 100%. Generates energy around this is who I am. I accept myself and I'm allowed to feel pleasure. Just like I'm allowed to feel rage. You know, rage is a great way to enter pleasure because rage is something I think a lot of women are familiar with, but it's equally taboo. We're not really allowed to rage out. There's posts out there about like this feral menopause, you know, moment, like, and I love it so much. I'm here for it because we're not really, I feel like so much of my life I was a ballerina. I was like in these very controlled environments and I was never really allowed to like rage out. And, you know, I'm not saying like develop an anger problem. I'm just saying that desire is like these other things, meaning that, pleasure can be temporary. It's not like, oh, if I do this, will I start to, you know, want to have sex with the microphone? No.
No. I probably would.
That's a different kind of pill, Nicole. Not that yours is a pill, but if you want to know, I'll get you the right pills. Yeah. I know a guy.
Yeah. I'm going to be a tester and come back and tell y'all what I did. I might even take pictures. Just kidding.
I love that. But it's more about, you know, I would tell a woman, start taking women's lib. I would say lean into who you are because it will make it's sexy. And when you feel sexy, it will beget more of that feeling. Then I would say try to orgasm, whatever that means to you, whether it's in the shower, the bathtub, or on your own, or with a partner, with a toy, with, you know, make sure you're lubricated. That's the other thing I would say. This does internal lubrication, but there's no substitute for actual lubrication. And there are so many good ones out there. So find a lubricant that you like and use a lot of it because it helps it feel good and we deserve to feel good. And I think also exercise, honestly, dancing, walking. It doesn't have to be intense. It's not like, oh, I got to set aside an hour and a half. Transition time to get to the yoga studio, to do the hot yoga. You can do that. Just move. Just move your body, which already is like, that can be a real challenge for a lot of people. You know, they're uncomfortable.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. I teach dance classes and I'm like, okay, we're going to close our eyes. When you see people just like,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, but you have to start somewhere.
Yeah. I didn't know you taught dance, so that's awesome. I'll have to check out one of your classes. I grew up dancing, but so I understand what you're saying about being in those controlled structures and those controlled environments and those situations where it has expectations of you about how your body looks, about how you're performing, about how you're presenting yourself. And so I think that's really interesting because, you know, it really is a part of the wellness where it's just getting in touch with your emotions. Like you were saying about the comparison to rage, right? Like breaking out of those controlled environments, even just temporarily, because I know that idea scares you, Nicole.
Yep.
But breaking out of it just for a bit to be in touch with every emotion, right? It doesn't have to be a huge therapy sesh, but it has to do with just knowing yourself fully and being able to experience that rage and to let go and let your hair down and, you know, let go of the reins for a second and let the cards fall where they may. And I think that, you know, applies to the rage, to all of these suppressed emotions that we were taught to suppress, right? And I think it's so important what you said earlier about the different ways that you were raised or in your 20s and what you experienced as a child, right? Because you get these ideas formed around it ends up being formed around sex, right? Because the way that you were raised has so much influence on how you are in relationships.
That's so true.
With yourself and with a partner. And so ultimately it ends up leading.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ends up,
thumbs up, Mom.
It ends up, you know,
and I am a mom, so I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
But back in the, I mean, sex was very different back when at least when my mom, and yes, I do take many of the way that I am from the way I was raised.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so would you ever want to explore that further? Because I know you have said before in previous podcasts and even conversations with you and I that you've said, no, that's in the past. Why do I care? Why do I care? Why do I want to go back and talk about all of the things that happen? It is what it is. I am who I am, and that's it.
Oh, yeah. No, that's really good.
Did I do your voice
really
correctly?
good. And listen, here's the thing.
She knows me so well.
But the hot take is that's not wrong.
No, it's not wrong.
No, that's about grace. That's about letting go. And so I think that there's like you can celebrate. The reason you're successful is how you were raised. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of positive. I also attribute, that's why I want to raise my kids how I was raised, is that it's about resourcefulness, resiliency, grace. It's about really being able to let go. Okay, that happened, moving on, you know? And there's great coping in there. But maybe my sixth thing I would say to somebody, and maybe this would apply to you, I don't know if it will resonate, is like to do something that challenges and scares you. Mm-hmm. Because to push yourself a little bit, to let go of a little bit of control and just see what happens, maybe you would love it. I don't know.
I think I'll get there. I think right now I'm in a whole not trust phase right now.
Yeah.
So I think I need to work through that part because I don't trust right now.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working
and you know
through.
that about yourself.
Yeah.
Which is powerful. That knowledge is so powerful.
Mm-hmm. I like how you say that though, to embrace, even if it's a negative thing, to embrace it because you can't change it or you can't move past it unless you understand it.
Exactly. It's just, again, just about understanding it, not to change it, you don't even have to take it and do anything with it, but just to acknowledge to help you understand yourself more and how you operate. You don't have to change a thing, right?
No, but just witness it.
Yeah, just witness it and think on it, you know, like, oh, okay, that makes sense why I do that, right? And take it or leave it, you know? But I don't think there's any harm in, you know, getting to know yourself deeper and what makes you tick.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, the trust thing is...
you're right. No, you're right.
The trust thing is a real challenge because I think that it's hard for us to trust ourselves too. You know, that's the part where emotions make me confused. It's like, okay, emotions come and go. Well, you can't really rely on, if I'm feeling sad today, like that's not a feeling that's going to last, but it feels really like it's going to, you know, but you can't trust it. So it feels like you're not trusting yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's hard.
Yeah. I'm more not trusting of people right now.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Which is why I was thinking, you know, learning more about yourself and starting with trusting just you.
No, that's true.
Right? Is always a way to get then, you know, maybe in the future when someone earns, you know, your trust.
It is a lot of self-reflection first. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
It asks so much of women to be reflective, you know. Well, who's got the time?
Who's got the time? Speaking of time, I want to go back to the 80s for a second.
Oh.
Were you even born yet?
I love the 80s.
I was born in 90.
Okay.
I was born in 78, girl.
Okay, so you were born.
Yes.
So I know that we've talked about like dating and dating sites and how I would never go on a dating site or whatever. And so I was at dinner with a bunch of girlfriends the other day, and my girlfriend found this book, and it's called, I don't know if you remember this company, Great Expectations.
No.
From the 70s and the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was a company that was back in the day before social media, before dating sites, the internet. This is even before the internet, probably. This was a company.
A classified.
This was a company
ads.
that you would pay, sort of like Match. Cracks me up. She found this in a drawer of someone that's not with us any longer. And what you'll find, you sign up and you pay and like the ideal mate. But back in the 70s, how dating, and I was reading this, it just cracks me up. I would love to go back.
What is it? A booklet on who you should be dating?
It's a company that you paid thousands of dollars probably back then.
Yeah.
And
to matchmake?
To matchmake.
Okay.
And I don't know, everyone filled out one of these books and then
you fill out the book.
The company would have you meet somewhere.
No way.
And they had chapters on creating experiences and dating and but the 70s and 80s. So I couldn't believe. I said this is going to be worth something someday. So
That's
I borrowed
amazing.
it just to kind of see like what they did back in the 70s and 80s, and it was really cool. Like what steps to commitment. Like it taught you from how you meet somebody, how you develop it, what should be important, and what to do when you go on your first date and your second date, or what not to do. So I haven't gotten right through it.
There are companies. There's a company that does in-person dating and networking here in LA called You Feels, and they have like levels and tiers where they teach you along the way while they have dating experiences. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that must be the new version of this.
I don't know, I couldn't, because I remember the company back when I was a kid. I never used it, but I just remember like seeing the commercials and stuff. So the fact that this even was in a drawer is, and that people actually used services like that back in the day. So I thought that was
like the
interesting.
original Tinder, right? And then, but I wouldn't trust Tinder as much as I would trust the You Feels, whatever you were bringing up. That sounds like there's more research behind it, and a more,
or Match or any of those other ones.
Yeah, just more intentionality behind it, which I'm huge on. But the dating apps kind of feel more like hookup culture to me, and that could be totally my biased opinion, but it does feel like hookup.
So you want to, go back to the 80s so that you can fill out the form, and you could still fill it out.
I just think it was cool to look back because I don't know anything. I really don't know about dating sites either. I just see my friends like they'll pull it up and show me, and it's like most of the time it's like ew, like it's just not.
Yeah.
And then the times that they maybe click on something or swipe whatever way they're supposed to swipe, it's not really the person that they actually thought it was. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's. I'd rather meet somebody organically.
Of course.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just thought this was cool because I just remember the company name, and I just can't believe it. Like there's something that's still sitting in someone's desk that
that's
like,
gold.
You know, like how to act, responding to thank yous, how to respond to compliments. How to, like,
I wonder if the stuff in there will be relevant today in the dating world. Like, or is it old fashioned? You know,
I think a lot of it's old fashioned. Maybe things that people don't think about or care about, or they don't think they do. But like when I was reading through it, I resonated with a lot of it.
Sure.
And so I don't know.
Well, I think it would just be interesting to see the evolution too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So much has evolved from then to now, and some things can still be a gem and other things you can discard, but just the process of the evolution of it all is exciting, right? Just like your product is exciting because it's part of an evolution.
Right.
Having an open talk like this would be like so banned back when this book was a thing.
Probably, you're right.
It'd be some Donahue, like, crazy episode.
Exactly.
Jerry Springer, actually, even worse than Donahue. Yeah.
But I mean, even just being able to be here in community with other women that you can lean on, like you said, because I'm a huge believer that now that you cannot depend on your partner for everything. And that's not in a negative way whatsoever.
No, and you shouldn't either.
You shouldn't have to.
Yeah, that's a big...
And it's like, you shouldn't have to, they shouldn't have to have that responsibility. But there's some things that are better talked about among other women.
Yes.
Just because it's lighter and funnier and you can relate, and there's this power that women have that, you know, they can, when you're gathered in a room and you're talking about all this stuff, there's just a community and a friendship vibe that you just can't get with your partner, no matter how much of an angel they are, right? It's not their fault. And so I think people need to see that evolution, and they need to embrace that evolution and learn things like about your product and how they can better help themselves and then help their friends. Because the stories that I've been hearing lately, it's not an uncommon thing to be going through this low libido, you know, not
and these
interested.
women were going through it too, but they couldn't talk about it. There was absolutely no products about it.
Right.
But were they?
Oh, 100%.
You wonder, like, is it our foods? Is it our environment? Like, it just seems like now compared to, I don't know, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, it just seems like everything is more, disease is more...
like everyone has ADHD.
Everything.
That's true.
It's because we know so much more. Yeah. I think 100%, because what we're experiencing is so human fundamentally that it's impossible that generations before us weren't feeling this way.
They just had to approach it differently.
Or they didn't talk about it, like we said.
Or they didn't talk about it. It was very much like, whatever, it's in the past, bury it deep.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, I remember when I was going through infertility, I was always the person that would be like out doing the support groups. I was manning the support groups and getting people together and being a resource for people, because I don't have there's no personal part of my life. I tell everybody everything, unfortunately. But I was surprised at how many people didn't talk about infertility. And we had a group that we got together locally here of 200 people in a park one day to celebrate. You know, we're there's other people just like you, and you don't have to be ashamed of it. You can get resources from people. And so that's like kind of like what we're about, like that you're not alone.
Right. Community.
Just community, for sure.
And so absolutely those women were suffering. And there was also the LGBT world was also suppressed then too.
Yes.
You have a lot of women who reach middle age and have a realization about their sexuality, and they couldn't express anything. And like, I just got to find myself a husband and figure this out. And they were just knuckling down and bearing down to get through it. And that's not good.
No. Not at all.
How do you think, I mean, because I know we've spent a lot of time talking about you know, being single and exploring yourself and then having your partner. But I think you just brought up a great point, right? With the LGBTQ plus community, it's like, how do you think that your product can help someone that... Okay.
Oh, it's the best. Because here's the thing, like people who are in a same-sex female relationship that are lesbian community, they go through menopause and perimenopause simultaneously, like a lot of them, right? Like our cycles sync up. This, you know, it's like when we get together.
So true.
So imagine that you are feeling tired, not yourself. Maybe you're having hot flashes, all the like 78 symptoms that are possible during perimenopause. And your wife, your partner, is also going through those same things.
Wow. Yeah.
And then the kids are like, hello?
Yeah, that's a lot to navigate. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So true.
So are you kidding?
So true.
This is the savior of their relationship.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love
That's
that.
awesome.
I did not think about it like that at all. With
I
the
think
syncing.
you might need to like bring a lot of that stuff to our event because I think you might
I know.
sell
I was
out.
thinking I might need to bring some.
Yeah.
A big box.
Yeah.
Bring a big box because
And then they
I
could
think,
order if she runs out, right? Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think it's going to be a hit. We'll have the code for the 15% off.
Totally.
Not only on this episode, but at the event as well. Bring a big box because I think, you know, wrapping up the upcoming event that we're having that focuses on all of this, it'd be nice to send someone home with something of a solution, of a little bottle of hope, right?
Yes.
I love it.
It's great to talk about it, right? But to have something in your hand, I feel like is so powerful. Like you said, just get started. Step one is women's lib.
It's
right?
when the reviews come in after 2 or 3 days where it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. That's my favorite.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to go and read all of the testimonials and all of the stories.
When are you going to start it? Tomorrow morning? Because she said in the morning if you don't want energy
Take
at
it
night.
in the morning, yeah.
You know what? Yeah. Because I mean, I'm in a whole thing with my hormones and everything too. I might be in perimenopause. Who knows, right? But there's health issues that I'm having that I can't get resolve around.
Yeah.
So I am totally open to anything that doesn't hurt you, that people, you know, say can help. And I mean, sure, why not, you know? And I'm excited to get into the hands of all of my friends because, like I said, this has just been such a prevalent conversation and they just kind of feel like hopeless and not knowing where to start, or this is just what life is now, you know? And I'm trying to avoid that like the plague.
Yeah.
So anything that, you know, sets you up for success, I want to start right away
Yes,
and get it in the hands
I
of
love
everyone.
those conversations too because, you know, someone will say, oh, you're having health issues around whatever hormones and what have you. Like, I know a doctor who deals with that. Like, I know an OB who specializes in something. You start to share these resources that are out there. Yeah.
And that's what makes our event coming up so important, right? Is because these conversations are happening behind closed doors or on wine night, right? And bringing everyone together like how you did with your, you know, in years past and everything. There's that sense of community. Yeah. There's a sense of like, okay, let me take a breath and, oh, you're going through this and I don't know you, but you're going through this. It makes you feel like there's not something wrong with you, but also we have, you know, a sex therapist coming. We have a hormone doctor coming. We have a sex coach and we have you. And so it's like this perfect storm of women that can openly talk about these things and then give hope in a different way and give steps that aren't overwhelming and give you one more thing to do, but something that's going to just help your overall life approach.
That's right.
I'm excited about it.
I'm excited about it.
We're going to have to all like just compare notes afterwards because we're in 2 different situations now. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see what it all means in the end, right?
Every body is different, you know. So how it affects you might be different, might be similar, which would be so interesting. And who knows? But I'm excited for you to try.
Very exciting, and I'm excited to have you at the event. Yeah, and I guess we should wrap it up, huh?
All right. Well, I'll see you in a couple weeks at the event. What day is it? It's May 16th.
Saturday.
Yeah, take it away at the Belcaro Gardens.
Yes.
But it has to be RSVP only.
So you won't be let in.
Yes, right, because the guy is at the gate and he's strict. He won't even let me in to see Nicole. So, bless his heart. So make sure you RSVP. We're going to have the best event on May 16th at Belcaro Gardens.
And thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. It was a really fun
We'll
conversation.
See you next time.